Hello everybody and welcome. I'm the grounded Gliscor here and I'm on the Poké2 on this channel and I want to welcome you to the week 2 battle of the TDL season 2. This week we face off, as you can see, versus my opponent OmegaChris, and the team you see in front of you is from the team builder earlier today. So just for the people who were not there, you have the team of Mega Venusaur, Defensive Skarmory, Assault Vest Goodra, Assault Vest Metagross, Grass CMZ Greninja, and Expert Belt Rock Polish Golurk. On my opponent's side, we see the team of Low Land Nidoqueens, Staraptor, Dragalge, Gallade, Togedemaru, and Blastoise. Very surprised to see the Togedemaru. There are no Ultra Beast or Thundurus Incarnate to be seen, so I'm actually very happy about that. Looking at the way his team is built right now for us, I would actually expect him to open up with something that can get quickly out of there. So probably something like Staraptor. But it didn't matter for me anyway what he would probably lead with, because I wanted to get my Mega Evolution off, and that is why I decided to actually open up with my Mega Venusaur. So I'm going to open up with Groot, the Mega Venusaur, as he's going to open up with Kai, his Low Land Nidoqueens. Since I know I was fast, I wanted to take the risk and Mega Evolve and get the Sleep Powder off. Because if I get the Sleep Powder off, then I was certain that I could actually have a safe Mega Evolution. So I actually decided to put him to sleep, and Low Land Nidoqueens falls to sleep. And at this turn, I actually decided to swap to my Greninja, because Greninja can deal with a Low Land Nidoqueens. He is also going to withdraw as a Low Land Nidoqueens, and he switches out to Staraptor actually. As I'm actually going to withdraw my Greninja again to my Skarmory, because I do not want to take unnecessary damage. He is going to U-turn on my Skarmory, and we see that he is hit by the Rocky Helmet. And since I did not see Intimidate, I know that he is probably Choice Scarf Bandit, Choice Scarf Reckless. So it goes out actually into Dragalge, so I'm going to swap out into my Metagross, as he's actually going to go for the Thunderbolt. So Metagross is actually going to be good right here, and I'm actually going to go for the Zen Headbutt. Zen Headbutt's going to do a tremendous amount towards the Staraptor, and it's enough for me to the point where I can pick it off with a Bullet Punch. So Staraptor is already gone, unfortunately, and he is now going to go into Joey's Gallade. Of course, I don't want to stay in, so I'm actually going to swap out into my Starscream, because I could handle anything that he wants to do. So he's actually going to knock off my Rocky Helmet right here, as Starscream is actually going to be forced to roost up sooner or later. So he switches to Togedemaru, as I'm actually going to roost up right here. And since I know the Togedemaru can use Nuzzle, I decided to actually switch out into Jenna, because it's a specially defensive wall. As he is actually going to predict that nicely and goes for the Hidden Power Ice, and now he goes for the Spiky Shield to see what we can do. So this turn I actually go for the Earthquake, and he sees that I have the Earthquake and is going to Volt Switch out of here. So he's going to Volt Switch out of here, and he is going towards his Gallade to take the Earthquake. Because I did not see any drawback in going for the Earthquake, as we do a tremendous amount towards the Gallade. So I'm actually going to swap out my Goodra right here and straight it back out to my Skarmory, because Skarmory just walls Gallade. So he's going to withdraw it again, and he goes now into his Blastoise, and I'm going to go for the Iron Head, because I wanted to get him lower. Now I'm actually forced to swap out my Skarmory, and I go into my Blastoise, into my Venusaur to handle the Blastoise. So he's actually going to make an Evolve right here, and he's going to go for the Ice Beam, if I'm correct. He indeed goes for the Ice Beam, because he predicts that we're going to let my Mega Venusaur or Goodra come in. And I'm actually going to switch out my Venusaur and go to my Greninja, predicting him to switch out again. So he's going to actually switch out to the Togedemaru, which I do not expect versus the Mega Venusaur. So I switch actually back out into my Jenna, as you see that he pulls out the Nuzzle and tries to paralyze my Greninja. He's unfortunately going to paralyze, of course, because that is what Nuzzle does. And now he's going to Volt Switch back out again, probably towards Gallade. Instead, he actually goes to, he opts to switch out to his Blastoise, as he is going to take an Earthquake to the face, which is not going to do anything at all. So Leonardo is now actually going to go for the Ice Beam, and at this point I was done with the switching. I wanted to get as much damage off as possible, but unfortunately we get paralyzed. So he's actually going to Ice Beam again, and from the damage that he did, I knew that I probably could live another one after this. So I go for the Thunderbolt, as he's actually going to go for the Ice Beam yet again. I go down to 2 HP and gets a crit, unfortunately, and I predict him to switch out and go for the Earthquake to Togedemaru. So I want to preserve my Goodra later for his dead father, so I switch actually out into my Mega Venusaur right here to take the incoming Ice Beam / Scald. Luckily enough, he doesn't burn us, and I'm actually going to take this opportunity to go for the Giga Drain, try to pick off this Blastoise. So Togedemaru comes in, and Togedemaru is probably going to go for the moves like HPIs, as we saw before, or the Nuzzle. I didn't want to deal with that, so I actually go to Colossus, because I saw his entire set, and HPIs was not going to do anything. So I want to take this opportunity to actually set up Colossus with Rock Polish right here, as I'm going to get the Rock Polish off on his Spiky Shield. So this was a free move to go for. So I go for the Rock Polish, speed is sharply, and we completely outspeed this entire team right now. So now it's just waiting of what will drop and what will not. So he now actually swaps it to his Marowak, and he is going to drop to an Earthquake because Colossus is just amazing as that. So Kai is going to feint, and Golurk is going to pick up the kill right there, and now he goes to the Dragalge. So I go for the Earthquake straight up. I could have also opted to go for the Ice Punch, but I thought Earthquake was better, just in case. As he reveals that he has the Shocker Berry and goes for the Dragon Pulse actually right now. If you had Draco Meteor, we probably would drop, but due to our investment, we were able to live and pick him off again with an Earthquake. So Dragalge is going to drop also right here, so Golurk picks up 2 kills already, and now he actually sends in his Gallade, and it shows that he is actually a Choice Scarf Gallade as I predicted in the team builder. But I could not risk it actually, because I thought if he was not, I threw a Sweep away, and I did not want to do that. So now he actually goes back out into his Togedemaru, as I'm actually going to click Surf. And I'm going to get a crit, which is going to be a 2-shot, and I know that I'm not going to be able to one-shot him now currently with another Surf. Well, I actually was able to, but then he used the Spiky Shield, and then I was not able to. So I actually wanted to go for the Surf again to maybe let him think that I'm potentially Scarfed or something. So I'm actually now going to switch out my Greninja and go into my Venusaur to take the incoming Nozzle. Because I knew that he wanted to paralyze me, but I did not want to set Gudra because also the differential was a thing. So I'm unfortunately paralyzed right here, and this is where Chris annoys the shit out of me, and this is why the battle was so speed up. Because now he continuously goes for Spiky Shield, HP Ice, Spiky Shield, HP Ice. That is all that is to it at this point. He is now actually going to go for the Volt Switch. And he is going to go back into his Leonardo right here, which I do not quite expect why he would do that. So I get the Sleep Powder off, and I'm going to put his Blasters back to sleep again. So Blasters cannot do anything, and he's going to switch it back out as Sleep Father and goes into Togedemaru. I'm actually going to switch out and go to my Greninja because I wanted to get the Grass Knot off. Fortunately, he is indeed going into the Togedemaru again, and I'm forced to switch out my Greninja yet again into my Venusaur. He's going to go for the Spiky Shield now to see what I'm going to do, because he probably thinks that I'm indeed some sort of Scarf variant. And he's going to go for the Spiky Shield this time to get even more Leftovers recovery. As I predict that he probably would do that, I go for the Synthesis to get the least full health so I can take up anything on his team. He is almost at full with the Togedemaru again and goes for the Hidden Power, I know. Hidden Power is, as you see, it does only the maximum of 12 hit points, as I'm going to Giga Drain that straight off back to full. Togedemaru is actually going to stay in here once again and just going to click Spiky Shield and HP Ice. Fortunately, we get paralyzed though. Togedemaru restores any more Leftovers recovery, and this is the point where it is Togedemaru versus Mega Venusaur. As I said, Chris annoyed the shit out of me with this, and I was actually kind of mad into this match because I was like, why don't you just go to a Mon that can handle the shit instead of stalling it out? Because this match was 54 turns. 54 turns. We ran down the timer. This was actually going towards 18 minutes at this point in time. He has 3 Mons left, and he's going to click Spiky Shield and HP Ice. I was at this point, I was like well, why don't you just sack it? Screw it. So, what I tried to do actually into Spiky Shield HP Ice shenanigans was that I could actually go with Venusaur to bring him low enough to the point where Greninja could come in after 2 Leftovers turns, and then we'll be able to pick him up with a Surf and then call it a day. Because there's no way he's going to go for Electric type move / Nozzle on my Venusaur right here. So Togedemaru restores HP yet again, and now I'm actually going to swap out to Greninja, indeed as my plan was, to actually Surf it up and then take him out with a Surf. So I'm going to Surf right here, and as you can see, we are close to taking out at actually 1 HP, which is just freaking insane, and I'm paralyzed unfortunately. So I knew that he was probably going to go for the Volt Switch and probably want to get out of there, but he goes instead for the Spiky Shield yet again, as I'm going to Surf again. And Togedemaru is at this point the bitch of my existence, and I hate that Mon from now on. As he's going to Volt Switch out, and I knew that it would not be taking me out, and he's actually going to go into his Blastoise right now, as I'm actually going to go for the Surf, but get paralyzed unfortunately. So right here, I did not want to take any chances whatsoever in getting paralyzed, so that's why I revealed the Bloom Doom right here, and I actually went ahead and go for it. So Zamimaru comes through this week again with a Z move, and kills the Blastoise with that Z move as well. So Blasters gets up out from the Bloom Doom, and that's going to be end of the game. Now actually Joey comes back in, and we know that Gallade is scarfed at this point, so I knew I could actually swap out into my Skarmory. He's actually going to go for the close combat, and as you see it does a tremendous amount, but I know a next one would not take me out, so I actually wanted to go for the Roost right now. Because if I go for Roost, I'm healthy enough to the point where if I'm forced to switch out, I could come in again on the Gallade. The only downside to this was that he indeed got held back from his Togedemaru with leftovers, so I actually go to my Mega Venusaur, and he goes for the Nuzzle. At this point, I hoped to God that he would give up at this point, as he is actually going to go for the Volt Switch right now on Mega Venusaur and switch out to his Gallade, and Gallade is going to take the Giga Drain to the face. Because there's no way I would go for the Sludge Bomb on the Steel type. So, Gallade goes down, and then the last one is going to be Togedemaru, and Togedemaru is not going to be enough to 1v1 5 of my other mons, actually. So he goes for the Empower Ice, and now I'm going to go for the Giga Drain, and that is going to be the end of Togedemaru after the next turn. So, your Low Land Nidoqueens pulled out another victory and are currently 2-0 in the TDL. Man, this was a long battle, longer than I expected. Next week we are taking on the Wexford Wailords and their coach Iris Emerald, so stay tuned for that as well. If you like this battle, be sure to hit the like button down below. Also, good game to Chris as well. Probably good, his link will be down there in the description as well, so you can check his perspective of the battle as well. I think this is enough for me. Greninja picked up a kill. Golurk didn't get the sweep as it wanted, but it was good enough for me. Anyway, this is enough for me. I'm the Grounded Gliscor, the coach of the Low Land Nidoqueens, and I will see you in the next video, whatever I'm gonna make. I will see you next time, guys, and I'm out.